Okay, so I was nursing a hip flexor injury. I kicked I kicked a 40-yard field goal, or maybe 35-yard field goal, and I hit it perfect. And I got so excited I tried to kick 10 more after, and on maybe the third or fourth one I tweaked my hip flexor, and I was nursing the injury for 6-7 months, and it's one of the ways that I tried to rehab it. I thought that if I could make my whole body stronger, then it would transfer that strength, and I could almost train through the injury with full body weight, 100-pound walkings, 100-pound walks to work. And it didn't work, right? I bought an 80-pound weight vest, and I bought a 20-pound weight vest, and I would walk to work. And then some days I would be on a double, and I would wear 100 pounds worth of weight, working a freaking 12-hour shift. I shit you not. And it didn't work. It made me sluggish. I became better at walking with heavier distance, with heavier weight, but it didn't transfer to either one, a rehabbed hip flexor, and it didn't make me a better soccer player, that's for sure. But this rope did, right? Because what this rope allowed me to do with my hip flexor was move my body, right? The body is connected from fingers to toes, so it's so lightweight, right? You could fit this in your pocket. And I mean, yes, we're thinking about hip flexor rehab, prehab, right? If you got a tweaked hip flexor, this is going to allow you to assess. It's an assessment tool, because as you start to move, you're breathing, you're moving your spine, right? You're bending and twisting your spine, and you could start to assess, right? Because it helps you better understand where your body is in time and space.
Wow, must be nice to do whatever you're doing. I'm getting my ass in.
Smoking cigarettes, letting cherries in my oranges, unforgivable. So, for that reason, as you swing it, and so when I started using this as a tool to rehab my hip flexor, what it allowed me to do was, okay.
And the owner begged to do this. Now you should be working.
How cool is
that?
So
I wish I get paid to do that.
you do. So you could start to see, okay, let's say my pain is, like, it allows you to feel where your pain is, right? It's like, okay, my pain is,
I gotta pay to fucking drink. You get paid to do that?
you got to earn it. So your pain can be on a 1 to 10 scale. So as you start to swing this, it allows you to better self-assess where your pain's at, and it naturally encourages good movement, because it's so lightweight that, right, most of the time, I mean, if you're thinking about, a lot of people spend time in the seated position. So as you're swinging it, it's going to help you move. It's going to help you good movement, right? Movement creates energy, and when you have good energy, then you feel better. So, and it's counterintuitive. You think, okay, why would more exercise lead to a more a stronger hip flexor? And it's because it's low impact, right? It's low impact. Low impact strength through motion. It's low impact strength. It's strengthening its strength through motion, right? So it's dynamic, right? So as this moves, it's like it's respecting the whole body, right? Because the body, I'm incorporating. So this motion, right? This one in particular, I really like just the raising of the leg, even a slight leg lift, right? Let's say you have some, even if it's a 1 or 2 on the pain scale, you can work through that. If it starts getting up into a 3 or a 4, I would not, right? Because you don't want to, if it's a tweak, you know, some people can tell if they got a tweak or if they got maybe a tear, right? If you have a 10, if you got a 9, 10, 10, and 10, 11 on the pain 1 to 10 scale, then you need to see a specialist, because if you tore it, then that's not good. So that's why this rope, right? Glurps, that's super efficient, because just dropping $100 on a pair of shoes that, I swear to God, these are the comfiest shoes I've ever worn in my life. Glurps, and they're minimalist, but they don't advertise them as that. But and the top breathes, the bottom's got rubber, and they let your toes move. So now your toes, since they can move, you could better absorb. The force from the ground. You can absorb with your toes the force that you create with your body, and there's 0 drop in the sole, which means that you have good range of motion in the ankles. It's got a wide, well, not that it's super wide, it's just not narrow. It doesn't constrict your toes, it allows your toes to spread out. And if you watch your feet when you're barefoot, your feet spread out a little bit each time your foot steps on the ground. So any shoes that constrict your toes, or that have thick soles, that's gonna make you weaker. It's gonna make you weaker each step you take, in theory, right? So the 3 strategies to rehab the hip flexor are: spend more time barefoot, spend some time in some minimalist shoes. Glurps are my favorite, GLERUPS. Swing this RMT rope around, engaging that hip flexor, making videos. And third strategy, hanging, right? The body's connected, fingers to toes when you hang, right? Think about how strong a monkey is. Monkeys, they're swinging, they're hanging, they're in the squat position, and they're doing monkey things. And then I sent